We're joined by travel expert Simon Cord. If anyone can sort this out, it's him. But I suspect it's almost unsortable even for you, isn't it, really? Because at the end of the day, you know, unless you want a fine, unless you take your kids out of school, you're kind of stuck.
You exactly are, which is why at the moment the Supreme Court is deciding whether it's reasonable if a child attends school 90% of the time for them to take the rest of the time off as holidays, which for most families would amount to almost 4 weeks. And that would effectively give you carte blanche to say, OK, we're going to have our holiday third week in March, for example. Of course, the Department for Education says, no, that would be very, very damaging, not just to the child involved, but also to their classmates as well. But there we are. You will save a fortune.
What we didn't realise about you, Simon Calder, is you were once, many years ago, a teacher yourself.
Maths teacher,
Maths teacher, indeed,
exactly.
Mr. Calder. And of course, and now you're trading.
If you were taught by Simon, do get in touch.
Yes, absolutely. Your trading, your
like.
profession is the travel industry.
Yes.
So on the one hand, I'm sure you have sympathy with the parents who want to try and save this money, because 9 times is just extraordinary inflated price. But also, you've been on the other side of the coin with the teachers who are desperately trying to teach the kids and get them the best education.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm a bit of a Stalinist when it comes to my own children. I'll do everything I possibly can to squeeze the cost down. For example, waiting outside the school on the Friday when they break up to drag them straight to Gatwick in order to fly away, because very often on the Friday night prices are much cheaper than they are on the Saturday morning, but they are going to be at school come what may. And we heard those fantastic examples of price increases, and you were thinking, well, it's gone up 10 times from East Midlands to Venice. Well, the trouble is, £47 for a return trip to Venice from East Midlands. The airline is losing its shirt. Similarly,
so is that how the tour companies justify then that the rest of the time they are unreasonably low?
Yes,
if
Diane
you like.
Eaton says that maybe the school holiday price is the correct price, and they should be that price all year round.
Well, the idea that Leanne said of have a word with the tour operators, tell them not to put the prices up, well, they'll just give up and go home. They'll take their ball away, because most of the year, most of the mainstream travel industry loses money. It makes it up and makes very handsome profits too during the school holidays, and everybody's at it. Car parking, for instance, if you want to park your car at Manchester in the short term at Terminal 2, or at Gatwick in the long term in the North Terminal. I've been checking all the prices this morning. Typically, school holidays, 50% increase on off-peak times.
So they stitch you up as well?
Well, they take advantage of market conditions, is I'm sure how they would put it. But look, the answer...
But it just sticks in the throat, Simon, doesn't it? It just feels
Of course
so
it does,
unfair.
but nobody forces you to go for a skiing holiday. And if it does, there's other things you can do. I was checking out some flights this morning. If you want suddenly to go to Geneva for the French Alps tomorrow, Gatwick, it's going to cost you £370 return on EasyJet. But go up to Manchester, last flight of the day there and back, out for a week, £90. I don't know what's going on there, but just drive to Manchester and do it like that. But the French have the real answer, and that is simply to divide the country into different areas and say, right, so for instance, this week, Paris schools are on holiday. Next week, it's Toulouse. The week after that, it's the province of Brittany. Every different region has its own holidays. That spreads demand.
And are their
much more
prices
easily.
cheaper?
Well, it's all different, you see.
You see, I wonder if then it would just be spread.
We're all trying to get off to the sun or to the mountains or whatever. They already live in a country with lots of mountains and actually a bit more sunshine than us.
This is what ABTA say, the Association of British Travel Agents. The reasons prices rise during school holidays is due to supply and demand. They support the idea of staggering school holidays, as we've just suggested, to help ease pressure on the families. Helen says that. Helen Taylor, not saying it's right, but there are many industries that operate supply and demand strategy. Why just pick on the travel industry? But equally, Lisa, I work in a school kitchen. My contract stops me taking holidays in term time. It's not just the parents who are affected by holiday companies, it's daylight robbery.
It's incredible, isn't it? Thanks, Simon.
Thank you.